Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. My name is Carla, your new disabilities advocate, educator, and influencer. And the goal of this channel is to normalize those with a disability living life. A few questions before we get started. Are you having trouble with confidence in your wheelchair, in particular in public? Are you getting a lot of stares and not sure why? Are you struggling with the voices within, the negative doubt and negative self-talk? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, stay tuned. This video is for you. And I do want to say that this is the second part of a two-part series about confidence in a wheelchair. And this part is about the psychological edition, or what's going on the inside. The first part was boosting confidence or building confidence in a wheelchair, the external or body image edition. And the link will be on the screen and in the description below. Okay, let's get started. You may be wondering about the mental portion of confidence and thinking, do the two go together? And the answer is a big yes. They always say mind over matter, and in terms of a win or being a champion or superstar, there is a huge portion that is mental. So they say if you can see it and believe it, you can achieve it, right? So working on one's inner self can definitely help the outer self and just a part of your being and your essence. And I do want to give a bit of a trigger warning. This video is going to be talking about working on your mental self and some mental health basically. So if that's triggering for you, or topics that are sensitive, this video is going to be time-stamped, so you can definitely check out the timestamps and proceed with caution if need be. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so boosting one's psychological or mental well-being and ultimately confidence starts, or it can begin with, working on spirituality or having some type of religion. I can say for myself, I have a Christian background, so I can speak from that perspective, but this is pretty applicable for just any type of religion or any spirituality. And it's definitely helpful to think about the doctrine, or in Christianity we call scripture, on love, peace, and joy. When you know those things and can recall those portions of doctrine, it can definitely help boost how you feel about yourself, to know that you're loved and that higher being or essence, that there's a higher power that is overseeing everything and is in control, and ultimately there's a purpose in your life. So that can, falling back on that and thinking about those things, reciting those things, either saying them to yourself, writing them down, reading them, can definitely help. And I can definitely put some scriptures below in the description in case you want to check those out. But it is said that you are never abandoned or failed, and that God loves you always. So just always remember that. Okay, and a part of that spirituality, I kind of just mentioned this, but a part of that spirituality as well is knowing your purpose, what, wondering and really figuring out what you're here for, or what the season of your life is, whether it's a good season or even a season where, let's say, a bad season. I don't really like that word or that terminology, but let's just roll with it, pun intended. So, and knowing that you're here for a purpose, and trying to figure that out, you can definitely call on, if you have a spiritual leader in your life, or even family and friends, if you're kind of struggling figuring out what that is for you. Okay, and I just would like to say, I truly believe one of my purposes is doing this channel and talking to you all, hopefully even helping. If it's just one person, then that's my purpose, and I'm okay with that. Okay, moving on to another way to boost confidence mentally. Okay, that second way, and this is really in no particular order whatsoever, but that second way is to truly love and respect yourself. We kind of talked about it with the higher power and the spirituality, but I think I'm going to go into this a little bit further in terms of loving yourself and respecting yourself. So I'd say identify one or two parts or characteristics about yourself that you love, and that you want other people to love and respect about you. Yes, we're talking about that word, respect. The thing Miss Aretha Franklin sang about. RESPECT. Find out what it means to you. That RESPECT. What you would like people to love and respect about you. You as your character and your spirit. If you, again, in that first video, I talked a little bit about identifying points on your body that you love. So now this is more thinking of along the lines of what is about you as a person, or your spirit, or your character that you love and respect about yourself. And I'll go first. So I love about my character, my kindness, and my strength. Some days are much better than others, but I try my best to be strong and to be strong for others. So that's what I love and want to be respected for. Okay. Number 3, identify when you're self-trash talking or self-doubting, and try to reduce it. Hashtag goals would be to ultimately eliminate that, but for the sake of this video and the sake of realism and taking those baby steps, I would just say to try and reduce that. So let's picture something. Let's close our eyes and picture a superstar or champion. I'm envisioning Mike, and it can Michael Jordan and Jackson, or Serena Williams, or even Bill Gates. Thinking about these super successful, ultimately, at least my life and my lifetime, life-changing individuals, and thinking about envisioning these people. Do you think these people honestly were self-doubting and trash talking themselves very often, or especially in those pivotal moments? What do we think Michael Jackson was thinking about when he was moonwalking on the Super Bowl, or Michael Jordan when he was doing one of his free throws, or even Serena Williams at winning one of her grand slams. Yeah, you have to think these people were thinking about all the times they've practiced and succeeded in what they were ultimately doing, whether it's rehearsing for Mike Jordan and Jackson, or even Serena, or even Bill Gates, whether it was practicing his algorithms or whatever he did. I'm not an IT person, I'm sorry, but you get the gist. So, but I just brought those people up to say that, the trash talking, self trash talking, it's very easy to do, but to thinking about or aspiring to be great, the best great self you can be, that's really just ultimately detrimental. It's not helpful, very hurtful. So let's try and reduce that as much as possible. And I'll give an example. I took physical therapy for a while earlier last year. I made some wonderful strides, truly. And strides physically. I was doing exercises and standing, things I have never done. And I'm going to make this as short as possible, I promise. But I had to stop that therapy for a while because of a move and insurance purposes. And it was a couple of months actually. And when I was able to get back, to get my insurance, get all that stuff straightened out, about 3 months it went by. So fast forward, I am back in physical therapy. Things are going well, but there definitely is a difference, and unfortunately a little bit of a regression. I'm definitely not where I was a couple of months ago physically, and in my current therapy sessions, I sometimes am hard on myself when I realize I can't do what I was once doing. And I have definitely identified that. That's the first step. Identify it and try to replace it with positive thoughts. I'm better than when I first started those recent therapy sessions. And I do want to say that everyone is so excited around me. I'm really trying to catch on to that positivity and be more positive myself. So they say negativity can be contagious, but so can positivity. So I'm really trying to do that as well and be excited and happy when I make even small steps or small improvements, are still improvements and deserve to be celebrated. So I'm trying my best, and I strongly encourage you to do as I say, and do as I'm trying my best to do too. All right. So that was talking about when you're doubting yourself and things you're saying to yourself. So now let's kind of switch gears and talk about, let's say, points of lower confidence in reference to others, if that's an issue for you. And let's go into that a little bit. So if one of your points of lower self-confidence is around others, especially others in new environments or scenarios or whatever the circumstance may be, I would definitely recommend to mentally rehearse. And what I mean by that is, if you're having an issue with the unknown, to maybe mentally go through that and ultimately prepare for that. So I'll give you an example of how I've worked on that myself. So I know for me, one of my points of lower confidence used to be going out in public and getting questions about my disability from strangers, especially when I was with friends and family, and just kind of, it's unfamiliar and a little anxious about how my family and friends would react, or how the strangers would react in that scenario. So something I've done is plan for those questions, and I've made a video about it. One of the perks of being a YouTuber. So I've made a video about that and how to respond. Therefore, if I'm in that scenario, I'm not caught off guard and nervous, and my inner confidence is not affected, at least for me, because I've prepared for it. So that's definitely helped. And if another point of that, some of that lack of self-confidence is maybe anxious or worry about going somewhere like the unfamiliar, I've made a video about how to plan for going out with a physical disability, in particular using a wheelchair. And that video is linked on this screen as well. Thank you. Okay, we're almost done. Number 5, coming to terms with your body and developing that level of acceptance for your body. So just please understand that this is a season of your life, in your lifetime. And for some people, this season is temporary in terms of your body and any physical strength or not. But this season may pass, but for some it may not pass. So definitely, I can't tell you to just be okay with everything and accept it. Wherever you're at in your journey, just acknowledge that, and I would say strive for a level of total acceptance. And if you're not completely confident, then you can definitely talk with someone, talk with friends or family, again, or maybe even a spiritual leader, or even professionally, about how to progress with your acceptance. But I just wanted to give a little shout out to the iconic supermodel Linda Evangelista. The week of February 15th, Miss Evangelista came out and stated she was she showed the public, she showed the world some parts of her body that had been affected by a cosmetic procedure that didn't go exactly as planned. And you can research this person if you're not familiar with the scenario. But when the story first came out, previously, this Miss Evangelista mentioned she was a recluse. So that sort of tells me that she really was not ready at all, either able or ready to showcase her body. She even stated she hated running into people that knew her. It's a big change being in the world of being physically different than most people. So I just definitely want to give kudos to that person and many of the other celebrities that have come out and, you know, just been themselves, kept living their lives despite being physically different. There's not many of them, but again, a big kudos to Miss Evangelista for literally stating she's done hiding, and she's, I guess, come to that level of acceptance in her life with her body and wanting to live her truth and live her life her way. I'm not sure if she will ever see this, but to Miss Evangelista and those like you, newly physically different, the road will get easier, and just live one day at a time. And lastly, thank you for your courage in living your truth. Your new life has begun. Miss Evangelista, you are an icon of the 90s for your beauty a mark in the fashion industry, and now you're an icon for your bravery and your strength, both of which are still iconic. And I thank you. All right. Well, we are almost done with this video, and I just would like to give an honorable mention again to physical fitness and exercise. They say being active and trying to be physically fit is literally can give those hormones that can boost your mood. So I would definitely say, if you can, do as much as you can physically. Most of us have some stretches, exercises that it's been suggested that we do at home. And it's definitely a wonderful feeling to know that you're on top of that stuff and you're doing the best for your body's ability. So let's just keep going, keep doing it. I hope this video has been helpful to, boosting your mood and trying to, get more of that confidence. Okay. Thank you again so much for your viewership. If you've enjoyed this content today, please like this video, comment in the sections below. I posed a few questions in this video, so you can definitely answer some of those questions and give your feedback. Subscribe to stay up to date on new videos released and help me grow this channel. This is Courageous Carla saying Carpe Diem and enjoy your day. Live your life the best way you can. Thank you.